Hello, my name is Tshidi. I'm from Team Eyewitness News. It's election time, so I haven't done these in a really long time, so bear with me. I'm back. The reason why I'm back is to help you understand what's on offer from the many political parties that are vying for your vote. It's manifesto time, yeah. So the first party, Rise Mzansi, delivered its manifesto over the weekend. It's a cute little booklet. So I even asked for the booklet so I can actually look at it. It's a cute little booklet. Easy to read. No, really. Easy to read. Lots of images. You see the pictures? Lots of pictures. So I'm going to try and help you understand what's in this booklet, what I thought was interesting, what I thought wasn't, and my 5 cents of what Rise Mzansi is putting on offer to you before you vote. Because I don't know if you know who you're voting for or if this will help you make a decision, these manifestos, when they're sending their vision and their policy ahead of the general election. So my thoughts about Rise Mzansi's manifesto: there's really nothing new. You might say there's flowery language, there's better use of English, and I think some analysts feel that way. I kind of agree with that sentiment. There's very little that is new for me here. So ESCOM, economy, joblessness, and if you think about it, all of these are tied together. It's like a value chain of things that have gone wrong. So all those things, expect every political party, including the ones who broke these things, to tell you that they've got the answers as to how to get it right. So the governing party that's seeking a renewed mandate will also tell you it's got the answers to dealing with load shedding, as if it's not brought to you by them, right? You get what I mean? So those things for me are not interesting. Those things are not new. I think what was interesting for me is hearing things like, oh, they'll ban blue lights. It's also, again, not a new idea. If you live in the Western Cape, you know what I'm talking about. They speak about a smaller cabinet. Again, that's not a new idea. Land was interesting for me. So expropriation is something that they think must be done within legal constraints. But they also say the issue of landlessness, and it's tied to economic justice. See what I mean about language? Flowery language, big language, fun language, language of the professionals, the middle class and the likes, is kind of what you find if you read this document. But anyway, so they speak about the issue of land, and land for them is not an issue based on race. So they make a big talk about immigration, 2 simple ways to do the issue of immigration: secure borders. I think many agree with that. But they also want to suggest that they can do within 6 months a register of everyone in the country, so everyone within these borders, 60 million plus of us, to figure out who's in the country and whether or not they qualify to be here. I don't buy those kind of ideas in terms of what's possible, right? The kind of infrastructure you'd require to see through such ideas. But what they speak about a lot in this book, in this manifesto of theirs, is about leadership. I think at the core of it, no matter what's proposed, and that's what they tell you, is that if you don't have leadership, the political will, then the things won't get done. And I think, again, that's part of where South Africa's problems lie. And everyone agrees. The lens is the same in terms of our problem. I listened to Songezo Zibi, the leader of Rise Mzansi, and I felt like it was an impassioned plea he was putting to the country about standing up and participating, which is why I need to segue to what I think is good about this manifesto. I'm turn a page because I actually wrote it down. I like the idea of public participation. They speak about the power being in the people's hands quite a lot. And if there's a party that's going to actually see that through, that's important, because the democracy is not theirs. It's not the politicians. It's yours and mine. It's ours. So I like that a little bit. I think it is important to recognize that these are professionals. I remember Mwele Tsimbeki kind of marking people like Songa, saying that these are not captains of industry, they're managers. But to walk away from your job to say you're going to fight for a country is something that should be commended, right? So I think that this is their story and must be recognized. What I also liked in this manifesto, that they recognize the importance of speaking to people living with disabilities. Often those sectors of society are sidelined. They're not necessarily sidelined in this. And that's based on a lot of the talk from their many meetings across different parts of the country. Just to segue into what I think will be challenges for a party like Rise Mzansi, a newcomer, with a leader who's relatively unknown. Songezo Zibi is known to the media, and I've seen some criticism saying that he gets a lot of publicity because he's somebody who's liked by the media, but he has a team that's relatively unknown to the electorate. And in South Africa, personalities in politics matter. When you look at the EFF's rise, anchored around one character, Julius Malema, when you look at COPE, which was a splinter from the ANC, I mean, we can't talk about COPE now. I mean, COPE then, following 2007. When you look at those parties and how well they fared at the elections first time round, There was history behind why they existed. There was baggage, which Rise Mzansi, funny enough, doesn't have, which would be a good thing. But I do think they'll struggle based on popularity. How they think they'll fare, I don't necessarily agree with that image. I think that if they're playing this game, it's got to be for the long run. They cannot be looking at these elections for what they are, because if you're trying to realign this country's politics, it's going to take a while to get people to understand what you're selling, and it's going to take a heck of a lot more community meetings and public engagements, and to sound a little less boring to make it.